Am Yisrael Chai that you had in mind? That's Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, that one? That's Carlbach? Okay, good. I'm glad I guessed correctly. Every once in a while I do something right. Get something right.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's that time.
It is.
And we are going to begin our service on page 278, 278, as we continue in our counting of the Omer. Extra piece of cake at the Oneg, if anyone can tell us what day of the Omer this is. Huh?
34?
No, you're close.
40?
Huh? It's 38. Wow,
Nice.
you get an
Good
extra
score.
piece of cake.
Well, I know that the Omar had a deal before they could start doing legs again.
All right. So on page 278, Hineni muchan mezuman lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sfirata omer. I am ready now to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom shloshim ushmona yom shehem chamesh shavuot v'shalosh yamim la'omer. Today is the 38th day, which is 5 weeks and 3 days of the counting of the Omer. And we hope, as we do every week, that we are anticipating the coming of Shavuot, which arrives on June 11th and 12th. So just an early announcement, June 12th, 10:30, is our Shavuot Yizkor service, 10:30 a.m. on June 12th. So let's turn together to page 6. And let's read together at the top. We entered the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, building up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Let's continue on page 10, at the top of the page.
Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. הנה 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 מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד.
Let's turn now to page 2 and 3. And let's read together at the bottom on page 3. Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. We hope that this Shabbat we are able to create that world of justice and peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to light the lights of Shabbat. Amen. And now our candle for the hostages. Baruch atah Adonai matir asurim. Blessed are you, God, who frees the captives. Let us turn to page 374 as we rise as able for Hatikva.
Kol od balevav penima Nefesh Yehudi Homiya Ufate Mizrach Kadima Ayin Letzion Sophia Olo Avda Tikvatenu Hatikva Bashnot Alpayim Liotam Choshi Be'artzenu Eretz Tzion Yerushalayim Liotam Choshi Be'artzenu Eretz Tzion Yerushalayim.
You may be seated. So turning back in our prayer books to page 20 and 21, let's join in our Shabbat song, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. 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 Shamor b'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu elam yuchad. Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet, V'litila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor ha'veracha, Merosh mikerem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshavat techila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Hitorri, hitorri, Ki ba'orech kumiori. Uri, uri, shir daberi, Kevod Adonai, Halayich nigla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Please rise.
Boi v'shalom aterep ala, Gam besimcha ufsola. Toch emune am segula, Boi chala, Boi chala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's
Shalom.
let's travel around the room.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's fun. What did I do here? Oh, that's what I did here. Okay. Some points right on the camera. I said to Diane, it doesn't matter. It's all about the words and the music anyways.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's make our way to seats. I will ask the all-important question. Any simchas happen this week? Happy moments, celebrations, life choices? Yes. Oh, wow.
Mazel tov on 2 counts.
Wow.
Ooh, special one.
That's great. Mazel tov. Good, happy occasions. Any others? Other simchas? Important blessings.
Nothing beats that.
I think that's good.
But Aaron,
Yeah?
that's one.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
It's exciting.
That's worth celebrating. Mazel tov.
I had a birthday 2 weeks ago.
Yeah?
Mazel tov.
The big 7-2.
Yeah. Well, let's celebrate all those moments and turn to page 26. It gadol v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalmad yivrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayedecho be'Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'emaru amen. Yeheshmer Rabba Mevorach Le'olamo me'almaya Yitbarach V'ishtabach V'yitpar v'yitromam v'yinaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kedusha B'richu Leila min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma V'meru Amen. Please continue on page 28. Please rise as able for Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma pateach sha'arim uvitvuna meshana itim umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzonam borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'hoshech mipnei or Uma avir yom umevi laila Umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzavaot shmo. El chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. On page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
May be seated. We continue on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlachtecha v'derech v'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 39. At the bottom, let's read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'erim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh. Norati lo tosef eleh, norati lo tosef eleh. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נער בקודש, נורא תהילתו ספלה, נורא תהילתו ספלה. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
We continue now on page 42 at the bottom of the page. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our coming and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uben b'nei Israel Oti leolam, oti leolam, bishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshe yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
We continue now with Tefillah, page 46. Please rise as able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Morid hatal. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayim hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umidom melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanat alachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yaluch hasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
And let us all say Amen. You may be seated as we turn to page 57. Read together at the bottom. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 60.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. V'tov enecha levarech et Amacha Yisrael bechol et ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We now take a moment to reflect on those who are in need of a little extra prayer this Shabbat, those who are struggling through life, illness, physical or spiritual, that guides them. And so we call out names in hopes that God will lessen their struggles in the week ahead, and to remind us of our role in their healing. This week we call out Wanda Berkowitz, Milena Barcina Villalobos, Joan Adler, Bill Ellis, Amber Gracia, Michelle Dan Miller, and Steve Baumel, Aaron Kugler, Alan Levin, Karen Ellis, Tanya Thompson, Emily Elkins, Liz Wilkes, and Monroe Zeffert. And if you have names you would like to add, please call them out. Let's turn to page 253 for Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the Holy and Blessed One bring healing to those that we've named out loud and in our own hearts. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
So I had a little bit of downtime this week to think a little bit more deeply about our future together. So on Monday, I was able to join my brother on his boat for a sail in Clear Lake. Not much wind, but it was a quiet, peaceful float for a few hours. No phone calls, no emails. It was glorious. I got lost in my thoughts for a while, thinking about the choices we all have in our lives. Yes, the ones ahead and the ones behind. I came into the temple on Tuesday and began my weekly attempt at writing something of meaning to share with you this evening, and it usually begins in Torah and it grows into experience. So this week, we continue in the book of Leviticus with Parashat Bechukotai. It begins, Im Bechukotai telechu, Vet mitzvotai tishmaru, vasitem otam. If you follow my laws and faithfully observe my commandments, I will grant your rains in their season, so that the earth shall yield its produce, and the trees of the field their fruit. The Holy One challenges us to make good choices, and those choices will lead us down roads lined with blessings. The Torah talks of bounty and blessing, security and peace, favor and family, and promise and product for the future. And all that God requires is that we faithfully follow the path that God has laid out before us and make the right choices, especially when we come to the many crossroads that we will find along the way. It seems so simple. And yet the text knows that human beings, when left to our own choices, sometimes we choose the apple over eternity. We choose the wine over the covenant. We choose the quick over the delayed. We choose the present over the future. There's a great midrash that speaks of this choice. In Deuteronomy chapter 27, Moses describes what the Israelites will see when they get to the promised land. They'll come upon two mountains, Gerizim, the mountain of blessing, and Ebal, the mountain of curses. And Gerizim will be covered with lush vegetation. It represents the land flowing with milk and honey. Ebal is barren and rocky and represents the path through the desert from which they came, the wandering desert dwellers. The Midrash says that the Israelites must choose a path. To choose Gerizim, a longer but more sustainable path, or Ebal, a shorter and a quicker route. Gerizim represented blessings, and Ebal represented curses. And the Midrash says that the Israelites did not want to make a choice. They began to walk between the two mountains, through the valley. Sounds like us a lot of the time. Path of least resistance. God places a wall in the valley. They must choose a path. How human they were. What would you have done if presented that choice? The longer, lusher path, or the short, rocky one, or the valley in between? Why are the choices we face often so hard to make? And are they ever really that clear, blessing or curse? Wouldn't we all choose the path of blessing if given the opportunity? Well, in this week's portion, all we have to do is follow the path. Do mitzvot. Love one another and God. Show up, lift up, and celebrate. Doesn't seem so hard, does it? And yet we struggle. Often 2 steps forward, 1 step back, slowly inching toward the finish line, but never really getting there. Over 50 years ago, my mother and a few of her friends were avid playwriters. They wrote a play in 1969 at Temple Emmanuel called My Son the President. It was performed for the bicentennial in 1976. And there was a song that has stuck with me and is more valid today than ever before, called The Middle Road Walk. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's how you do the middle road walk. You put your feet on the ground and you balance your weight, head on your shoulders and eyes looking straight. You take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back, and whatever you do, don't get off of the track. Because if you step to the left, it'll throw you off beam. A step to the right, and they'll call you extreme. But marching in place, you will never cause talk doing the middle road walk. So how do we change directions? How do we lean into the progress, the forward motion we seek to achieve? Can we break the cycle of non-choices and begin to live intentionally? And the answer is courage and faith. Answering that call to grow, to expand. Life is full of choices. We're faced with them every day, and our tradition weighs those choices and values the act of choosing, not treading water. We are told to make a choice, not travel the middle road. Judaism calls on us to act and also to believe, but act with our conscience, act with our faith, act with our heart and soul. Blessings or curses, which shall you choose? And so it seems that our response is often to seek forgiveness, to backpedal, to doubt our choices, or to make them and reject them in the same breath. Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik once said that our dignity lies in the mission that God has in mind for us. Human history is one in which humanity has often prostrated themselves before the Holy One. Lying face down on the ground in the presence of the Holy One is not what God seeks from us. Face down, we cannot face the full dignity of living that God demands of us. As the prophet Micah taught, what does God demand of you? To do justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with God. And all of this is meant to be upright. No longer slaves. We are now covenantal partners with God. That's where we are in Torah. We're engaged and empowered, embraced and encouraged to stand tall in the world, proud and fulfilled by our choices to move forward. Leviticus teaches us that to live in covenant with God is to stand tall. To serve God is to act upon this world. We're called into being not to diminish ourselves, but to grow ourselves. We grow with every choice we make. And the covenant gives us the course to express our needs, our yearnings, our expectations. We are not God's equals, and we are definitely not God's slaves. So partners and servants we are, and stand tall we must. So on every trail, on every adventure, there is a moment of truth, a moment that tests our skills, our resolve, our dedication to the journey. This poem includes a reminder that there are wonderful secrets along the way, secrets that cannot be found anywhere else. On the Trail by Alden Solovey. God of beginnings, God of mystery and adventure. The path is steep. The route is hidden. The trail a narrow ridgeline, exposed and treacherous, slicing between majestic canyons, rising to the awesome sky. The load is heavy, the destination unknown, but the journey has rhythm and dance, song and story. Ancient music that rises around us to take us from sunset to sunset as we move into the glorious unknown, step by step, moment by moment, day by day by day. God of the wayfarer, God of the traveler and the sojourner, divine light of wonder and truth, lead us. Show us the way across vast open spaces and through tight, narrow passages. Guide us. Show us the way through stormy days and moonlit nights. Blessed are you, source and shelter, guide and compass, oasis of truth. Lead your people from trail to trail, from trial to trial, from darkness to light, with love. May our choices be clear, and our souls lean forward into the path that we have chosen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Roger?
Shabbat Shalom all. Good to see you, and those who are tuning in, glad you are joining us. To all our virtual congregants out there. We hope your participation this Shabbat has been meaningful, and our oneg tonight is sponsored by Peter Bernstein in memory of Evelyn Bernstein. Some upcoming announcements, news, and events that are happening. This Sunday at 11 o'clock is Temple Sinai's annual meeting. Look at your email. There are materials that are important to the meeting. Hope that you can join us in person. If you cannot, there is a proxy form online that you can fill out and send into the office. That is Sunday morning. The meeting is at 11 o'clock, and I believe we are having some breakfast beforehand at about 10:15. On Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock, come and join everyone at the JCC West right here at Dairy Ashford when we will celebrate the gift of Torah and the festival of Shavuot. There will be games, climbing walls, and best of all, lots of ice cream. There is no cost, and it'll be a good time for all. Also on Sunday, June the 9th, Temple family is meeting at Churrasco's on Gessner for a brunch. RSVP to Susan Hertz. Telephone number, which you can get from the office. Look in the weekly email. There are more details. And finally, on June the 12th, Wednesday morning, 10:30, please join us as we have the Shavuot Yizka service. We will remember all who have died since Yom Kippur and honor their memories. Join us outside the sanctuary for Kiddush and Motzi immediately following the services. Again, Shabbat Shalom all.
Shabbat Shalom. Also on Sunday afternoon at the Shavuot event at the JCC West, each of the rabbis of the congregations that are participating will be each teaching a little tidbit Shavuot related. So come and join us. Should be fun. Let's turn in our prayer books to page 283 and rise as able for Elena. Olenu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teked l'aleotzer breshit, shehu sam helkenu liacher et shemo, v'gor aleinu l'hamich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, u'mishkachavim u'modim, l'ifnei melech malchei hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, She'ol noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'Moshe v'karo b'shamayim imah, u'shchinatu zo, v'govei meromim, Hu Eloheinu Enor, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatu b'Torato, V'yaratayom v'ashevota levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim imah, v'al haaretz mitachat enod, v'nemar v'haya Adonai L'melech kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. May be seated. Let's continue now on page 289 with reading number 3. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. At this sacred time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race, nation, and faith whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. This week we mark the yahrzeits for Jose Barcina, father of Milena Barcina Villalobos, Tim Clark, husband of Janet Clark, Joel Oliner, the husband of Karen Oliner, Irving Scher, the uncle of Howard Neuwirth Hirsch, and great uncle of Lori Neuwirth Hirsch, Menachem Morel, the uncle of Dora Lipper, Lillian Hirsch, grandmother of Howard Neuwirth Hirsch, Adele Weil, mother of Sandra Rushworth, Evelyn Bernstein, mother of Peter Bernstein, Rose Novak, and Marvin Podis, father of Janice Hertz. Are there any additional names for Kaddish this evening? For all of them, we say Zechanam Levracha, may their memories be with us as a blessing. As together, we turn to page 294 and rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yalama devarach yeruteh v'yamlech malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, Bagala v'zman kariv v'imaru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei alamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kut shabrichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yalama v'imaru, Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya, v'hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Aseh shalom b'mramav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and give comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And let us all say Amen. We're concluding our service on page 339 with Gesher Tsar Me'od.
Calling an audible because it fits the sermon better. Kol haolam kulo, Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od. Haolam kulo, Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od. V'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo lefachet la, v'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo lefachet la. English. The whole world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. The whole world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. And the main thing to recall, and the main thing to recall is to have no fear, to have no fear at all. And the main thing to recall is to have no fear at all. And the main thing to recall is to have no fear, to have no fear at all. And the main thing to recall is to have no fear at all.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Join us for Kiddush.